How's everybody doing? You know what? I think that last possession really showed who we are as a team. And I don't mean it was, just like we drew it up. I think I meant it more as like how much these guys trust each other, how much these guys love each other. They played for each other, which I thought showed in that last possession. Everybody touched it, the extra pass. Miles was having a tough night, hadn't made a shot, and still Jamari wasn't hesitant to throw that extra pass, and Miles wasn't hesitant to let it go. I thought our guys played really, really hard. Obviously, it was early, some sloppy basketball, but I think they're focused on the right things. They're focused on each other, and we're focused on getting better every day. So I think that was a good win for us, especially this early in the season against a very, very good VCU team.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Nate Bauer and John Sauber. You're next.
Hey, Jim.
Bauer, we'll start with you, and John Sauber, you're next.
Jim, what did you draw up for that last possession?
Nothing. No. You know what? We just talked. It was a tie game. We knew we have about 10 seconds on the clock, a little under. So it was, we have a play that we run, and it's dictated. We have 3 outlets to get the ball to, and then at that point, just be aggressive and attack the rim. So it ended up in Zay's hands, and we told Zay, let's attack the rim. They did a good job of shutting him off. So we just spread for each other, made an extra pass, and then it came to Jamari. Could have had the time to attack, and he threw the extra. So it was really just a play that we run. We ran a lot of it actually today. People might not have realized it against that pressure, but at that point, it was more about attacking the rim, very much like they did in that situation.
John Sauber, you've got the next question. Otis Lyons, you're on deck.
Jim, what made you have Miles on the court there at the end of the game? He only finished with 9 minutes in the game, and like you said, had been struggling up until that point.
Miles has a lot of experience. He's got a lot of game experience. He's got a lot of winning experience in this program. And he's a guy that we just trust a lot. This is his 3rd game winner in his Penn State career. He's a very good inbounder, and he knows how to play basketball. So at that point, it was just a decision to get him into the game. And obviously the ball got swung to him, and he made it. I think everybody trusts Miles.
Otis Lyons, you have the next question. Corey Geiger, you're on deck.
Hi, Coach. Obviously, Seth Lundy had a massive game. Do you see him being the primary offensive target going forward, or do you think this is a team that's more going to win by committee?
I think we're a team that wins by committee. I do. I think we're a team that's really balanced. I think it could be a different guy each night. Like it was Jamari in the last game, right? He had a great night scoring. And then tonight he really didn't score, but he had a ton of assists, a ton of rebounds. So tonight, Seth was the guy that was open, and he has the ability to knock down shots and make plays. And I think that's what's going to give us a chance to be pretty good, is that we have a lot of threats on the floor, and the guys trust each other, and whoever's night it's going to be has the ability to do it.
Justin, you've got the next question. Matt Bordner, you're on deck.
Hey, Jim, can you hear me okay?
I can, Corey.
Jim, after everything this program has been through, this is the 2nd game of the year. You almost let this slip away, and that could have been a bad loss. But the way you won this game, after everything that you've been through, all these guys have been through, to win a game in that fashion, how big do you think, from a big picture standpoint, it is, or is it just too early to tell something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we can make up everything's big and this is big and that's big. But the thing I said, like I started my interview with, was the trust. These guys love each other. They trust each other. They play for each other. And I think that's what showed. I don't think we lost our poise at all. That's a very good team. We knew what they can do. We're a good team too. We stayed very poised, and we trusted. We trusted each other defensively. We trusted each other offensively. And that's what this team is right now. That's what they're bought into. So, whether you want to say that it's brought us together tighter, I don't know. I think they're really good guys, and they really like each other. And we got a staff that likes each other, and we're just plugging away. Maybe it will be a big win. I don't know. We'll see.
Justin Morgenstein, and then Matt Bordner, you're on deck.
Jim, I think it was last year against Rutgers that Miles kind of had a similar situation where he struggled throughout the game and then hits that big shot late. What is kind of so special about that confidence? And, not just for Miles, but, for everyone to have that type of confidence.
Well, not everybody does, right? Not everybody does have that confidence. Not everybody wants the ball late in the game. I think we actually have a team of guys that do. So it could have been somebody else at the end of that extra pass. But it was Miles. And I think when Miles got it and let it go, everybody thought it was going in. And, you got to give Miles credit, right? And even Cappy said it to him. That's way to stay in the game, right? Here's a kid that got in foul trouble, didn't play much. He was frustrated that he didn't play much, but he was locked in and played and was ready to play when he was called upon. And I think we got a team of that. And that was great for Miles. And we're so happy they did it. And we do trust him. So I think that's great. And he's earned it.
Matt Bordner, you've got the next question. Dave Eckert, you're on deck.
Coach, how would you assess the team's help defense tonight? And going forward, how important is that, especially without guys like Lamar Stevens and Mike Watkins to help on the back end?
Yeah, it was better in the second half. The first half, I thought we struggled. We were getting a little strung out on the weak side. We weren't loading to the ball, and they hurt us a little bit. With the second half, we did a good job. We held them to 39% from the field. They only made 2 threes, 29% from the field. We out-rebounded them. So again, as we keep playing we need to play games, right? In practice, we keep practicing, but the games are where you get in real situations. And I thought we made those adjustments at halftime, and we did a better job. And it played out that way because when we defend and rebound, we can play out in transition. So again, we'll get back to work in practice and try to tighten things up before our next game. But I think if we can become an elite defensive team, then we're going to be able to win a bunch of games.
Dave Eckert, you've got the next question. Nate Bauer, you're on deck.
Hey, Jim. Obviously things kind of maybe got a little sticky there at the end, but I'm wondering overall what you thought of how your team handled VCU's pressure tonight.
I thought we did a great job. People could say it gets kind of sticky, but I don't know if anybody else has played against VCU as many times as I have. That's what they do. And we turned the ball over 15 times against an exceptional VCU team, and that's a pretty good thing. Our goal was 10. And really, I can joke because he's sitting over here right now. Sam didn't turn it over. Late in the game there, we would have ended probably with around 12 or 13 turnovers, and that's exceptional. And then you can beat a team like that. I thought we handled the pressure fantastic today because we have multiple guys that can really handle the basketball, and we're very unselfish. So I knew we were built to play against this team because of the guards that we have.
Nate Bauer, you've got the next question. John Sauber, you're on deck.
Jim, do you have a sense yet of your rotations and starters? Is that something that's going to change game by game, or is this kind of what you want to do?
It could. It's so early right now. I think we're pretty comfortable with our starters, our rotation. It could expand. We needed to expand a little bit, obviously, as we get into Big Ten play. But the versatility that we have, and the guys that come off the bench can sub in at multiple positions. So that's pretty comfortable to have. But just everybody's got to keep getting better. And then, again, it's day by day, right? Every day we just keep working and keep trying to get better, and we're figuring new things out about ourselves as we go. So right now I like it, but we'll see where it goes.
John Sauber, you've got the next question. Tanya Luce, and then we're going to end with Evan Patrick as the final question after Jack McKeon.
Jim, you guys struggled from deep tonight outside of Seth. How important is it going to be for you guys to make those shots, especially when you don't have much size and when John Hara kind of gets in foul trouble a little bit too frequently?
Yeah, I think we're a better shooting team than we actually have shot maybe in the last 2 games. What do we shoot from 3? 34%, almost 35%. That's pretty good. We still made 9 threes. And I don't think we've clicked on all cylinders yet. You're still talking about, we get MJ and Miles going. I think we could be an elite shooting team. So it is definitely a strength of ours, and it's something that we can play to. But we still have to be able to finish layups. We got to get to the foul line. We got to get some post ups. We got to kind of mix it up a little bit. So, but I do think we have the ability to shoot the ball at multiple positions.
Tanya Luce, you've got the next question. Jake Arafat, Jack McKeon, and Evan Patrick. That'll wrap up with Coach Ferry.
All right. Hi, Coach. Sam has obviously had 2 great games so far in his young career as an Nittany Lion. What do you have to say about his performance so far? And do you see him breaking into the starting lineup for you at all, or do you like him coming off the bench for the team?
Well, Sam has been Sam. This is what he does. This is what we knew he was. He's a tough guard. He can break the defense down. I think he gives us versatility, to be able to play him with Jamari, to play him with MJ, Zay, Miles. So it's, I think right now he's given us a tremendous burst off the bench. And when you have a team that can do that, that can go to the bench and come off with some guys that can score and defend, that makes you a pretty good team. So right now, I like where we're at. But again, things can change. But right now, I kind of like having him come off the bench and Miles come off the bench as guys that have threats at multiple things.
Jacob Ferry, you've got the next question. Jack McCune, you're on deck.
Jim, obviously when you were at Duquesne, I'm sure you faced VCU quite a bit in the A-10. How does this VCU team that you faced stack up to maybe some of the VCU teams that you've seen in the past? And, what does it mean to beat, a team like this that's, perennially, a tournament contender or, a pretty solid program?
Yeah, so when I got to Duquesne, Shaka was the coach. So I played him for a couple of years, and they had obviously Havoc, which was a little bit different than this. It was a little bit more tenacious and trapping a little bit more all over the place. Then I also coached against Will Wade, and Will kind of brought the pressure back a little bit. I think Mike's doing a good job. He's got a lot of bodies. Those guys are deep. They play really hard. I just think the difference was that we have multiple guys that can handle the basketball. So when you have multiple guys that can handle the basketball, you can play against pressure like this and turn pressure into open shots and good shots. And I thought we did that for most of the part. But again, I thought they did a really good job sticking to their game plan and turning up the heat a little bit, causing some turnovers. So it's a good team. I thought there were two good teams out there tonight playing. I think there's two teams that have a chance to have good seasons. And I think that's always good if you can beat a team like VCU. Obviously, they have a national brand because of going to the Final Four and stuff. So, but listen, during this time and this year, just playing is awesome. And if you can get a win, it doubles it, And before I even go any further, I said this to the guys, I really got to give, a thank you, a shout out to all the people that are making this happen. All the testers that are here every day. Our trainer, Saz, has been unbelievable. And it's just to give us the opportunity to play. Really appreciate what everybody's doing. I should have started with that.
Thanks, Coach Ferry, for mentioning that. There are a lot of people behind the scenes that have done a lot to get us out on the court. We appreciate them. Jack McCune, you've got the next question. Evan Patrick, you have the final question.
Coach, saw some Lundy and Hera out there together on the floor tonight. Also some Lundy and Buttrick. What did you like with them together, sort of pairing Lundy up with Hera or Buttrick?
Well, Trent and John, as guys at the five, they're big physical guys. They can really rebound the ball. And then with Seth, he can play in a perimeter and make shots. So it kind of opens the floor for him. We didn't take great advantage of the roles, but those roles that John and Trent attacking the defense makes the help defense move, and then it opens up the floor for those guys. So we have the ability to, like I said, to play small, but we can also play big at times. We slide Trent to the four as well and be big when we need to do that. So I think it's, those guys defend and rebound like they do. They're going to give us a chance to win.
Evan Patrick, you have the final question, and then we'll step everyone into the waiting room while we sanitize.
Hey, Coach. What makes Seth unique as a player compared to guys you've coached throughout your entire career? And what went into this performance, I guess, through the offseason, kind of behind the scenes? And do you expect more of this going forward from him?
Seth's really worked on his game, like a lot of our guys have. And I think last year was a great experience for Seth playing behind, arguably one of the best players in the history of school in Lamar, and Seth, the biggest thing that we've been trying to talk to Seth about is Seth, just be Seth, coming from the same high school as Lamar having the same, similar bodies and games and even haircuts, right? Seth's over there, so I said it. But it's just him being Seth, you know what I mean? And him being comfortable in himself and doing that instead of worrying about trying to be like Lamar, because their games are different. I mean, Seth can really shoot the basketball, and I think he's mixing things up a little bit. So it's just nice to see these guys get rewarded for all the work that they've put in. When you see it on the court in a game that counts, it's just nice and it's rewarding, and it sends the message to the younger guys that, hard work will pay off.